Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CASCAR. We are in Season 3 of the Canadian American Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. Oh man, we are here with the Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Welcome back, everyone, to Daytona. We are here for the CASCAR 250 and the Daytona Duels. So right now we are running throughout the rest of qualifying to get everyone set up for the Duels, in which you will be turning your inside and outside starting rows before we head on into our main event, the CASCAR 250, here with one of the greatest leagues ever created here on iRacing. Got a huge field of cars ready to go. Currently looking like 21 vehicles ready to go. We're starting to match the amount of Cup Series vehicles we're starting to get out there now in real life, which is awesome to see. I love to see it. More and more guys, though, welcome here, especially at the CASCAR iRacing League. Well, with that, let's go and bring up the league owner of Greg Snellgrove so he can give us a little bit of discussion here on what CASCAR is all about and what it can do for you. Greg, are you there?
I am here. Yes, I am here.
All right. Well, it's good to see you finally again. You're here with the entire stream. How is it going? I mean, especially here at
Uh,
the CASCAR 250, where it's a huge event for you guys.
well, it's going great for CASCAR. Not so great for me. I just got disqualified from qualifying because I don't know how to hit the gas pedal properly. But other than that, yeah, everything as a whole is great.
Well, how about you tell us a little bit about tonight's event here at the CASCAR 250? Got a lot of events here going on.
Well, it's a season opener, of course. We got our qualifying races that are about to take off to determine the inside and outside row, I should say. By the looks of it, Rob Carl and Richard Drake are going to be sitting on the front row. Won't be racing in those duels, but they will be starting in the 500 or the 250 on the front row.
All right. Honestly, we're in a really good event here. This is one of the biggest fields we've had here with CASCAR as well, which is even more crazy, figuring as this is a paid season now too.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed with all the support that we got for this season. I'm really impressed. It blew my mind when people were down for this just to get this season going.
Absolutely. I mean, we got a huge event. The schedule is coming up, and are you excited? Because I know I am.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. It's going to be a great time, and hopefully this qualifying attempt isn't a start to my season.
All right. Well, with that, if anyone wants to go ahead and join CASCAR, make sure you check out www.cascar.net, where you can go ahead and join the Truck Series, which just ran yesterday, did it not?
Oh yeah, that was a fun race too. We had a lot of lead changes, a lot of good drivers. One caution all race long, and that no, we were in green the whole way, did we not? Yeah, we went green from start to finish.
Wow. See,
It
that's the
was
kind of racing you expect here at CASCAR.
yeah, it was a blast.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it, and good luck here in tonight's event.
Thanks, buddy. Have fun.
Greg Snellgrove there of Great White North Racing. Honestly, we are in for a fantastic event here at Daytona International Raceway. It is the Daytona Oval, 2.5 miles of pure banked action here, where the Cup cars are going to be going just under 200 miles an hour the entire time, all the way through. Got a lot of cars out there, a lot of familiar faces for our guys that have watched here previously. And congrats to all the family that's out there, making sure you tune in. I know that everyone out there supports you, and they're definitely going to be happy to see their names on the vehicle. Well, with that, we're going to be starting the first duel very shortly, so we're going to hop into the race session. All right, that was Daytona. Let's Go Away. They're produced by the original Sega Sound team for the Daytona USA racing game back in 1994, I believe it was, when that game was released there for the arcade machines that you could find a long time ago. We are here at the CASCAR 250 Duel number 1. About to get off to determine your inside row. We got Jeffrey Belk starting on pole position, and Paul M is going to be alongside. Honestly, I'm excited to see how all this is going to go. So thank you very much, everyone that has joined in. Make sure you follow here at twitch.tv/4cloak and check out www.cascar.net. Well, with that, let's go and run through our grid for this first number duel. All right, so as I said before, starting on front row is going to be the number 55 of Jeffrey Belk that you're seeing right there. It's going to be a little bit off because this is going off the original qualifying results. And then on the outside is going to be Paul Ems. Jesse Atkinson is going to be there in row number 3 in 5th, and then Wes Gallo there in 6th. Row number 4 is going to go to Patrick Coluccio, and then Matt Malvagna is going to be there in 8th on the outside. In row number 5 is going to go to the rookie, number 42 of Michael Sparks. And on his outside is going to go to first-time winner last season here at Daytona, Michael Jennings. Row number 6 in the inside lane is Tyler Hallahan there in 11th. And then in 12th is going to be number 39 of Brandon Fiedler. Row number 7 inside lane is Stephen Black with Mark Lapierre on his outside. And remember that Stephen Black won last year's championship, so it's good to see him back out on track. In 15th position, we have Cody Snyder on his outside, Brian Fradian. Finally, in your last bit here, we're going to have Blake Hensley there in 17th with Kyle Mundell on his outside. And then finally, Greg's dad, who we just talked to a little bit while ago, that's Greg. His dad is going to be there in 19th for your qualifying field. Duel number 1 to determine your inside lane. Oh, man. I am excited to see how all this is going to go here at Daytona International Raceway, the historic. Oh, man, it's been on the entire NASCAR schedule for a long time, and with good reason. Because the racing you get here, even though it's pack racing and everyone has their opinions on that, is fantastic. You can see there starting in his rookie season, the 00 of Jesse Atkinson. Oh, I shouldn't, sorry, 00, I'm sorry, 00. He was very clear in his driver information form there in the Barbie vehicle. You can see a lot of the other guys here. Yes, you go ahead and watch TNT on Tuesdays. That's the Tuesday Night Truck League. They race on Tuesdays. Also here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Well, with the pace car rounding turn number 3, you can get a good, nice look of all the vehicles that are here in the CASCAR iRacing League. Oh, it's great to see them all out here. Very healthy field with all these cars out here. I mean, a lot of these guys are all teammates with each other. Everyone here has been racing for a very long time. Nobody is, just getting started anymore with here. And that just makes it that much better. Well, with the pace car now coming off of turn number 4 down into the tri-oval, it pulls off, and let's get ready to rumble.
Green flag, green flag.
And as my spotter said there, I don't know why that's so loud, we are green flag, and away we go here with the duel number 1 at the CASCAR 250. Jeffrey Belk off to a fantastic start. Jesse Atkinson, they're up alongside. He's got himself up into second place. The outside row apparently is sleeping on that start. What is going on with Paul Ems there? Very slow off that start. He's going to pull down now into the bottom. The bottom lane with this setup is faster, but is not the ideal place to be at all time. So you got to keep a good eye on that to see where everyone is going to end up going. Jeffrey Belk still has that lead. Jesse Atkinson falling behind. Belk's got a teammate there of Wes Gallo there in the 9 car with the Weeg Enterprises. Oh, Michael Sparks slowing a little bit down there. It looks like Tyler Hallahan got very nervous with that in the 88 vehicle. You can see that is where your outside row is starting to take play with Matt Malvagna leading that outside row with his team boss there. Michael Jennings, the 86, right behind. The 86 is promoting his own league there. That is the AERL, Amateur Esports Racing League, which you can join. They're going to be doing Next Gen Racing real soon. And you can see your front row has a nice long chain starting to build up here. These guys are going to be starting to go here with these 10 laps we have for the first duels. Greg Snellgrove there in the number 22, currently struggling for position a little bit. He's not doing the best. He's got to keep that thing under control if he wants to get up towards the front. Only a 10-lap shootout, and that means that this is going to go by fast. I want to give a big thank you to Pierce Graphics for putting together our overlay package here for tonight. It's going to be a mock NBC package. and that is going to make things that much more interesting so that we have some high-quality things to look at as the night goes on. We see the teammates there of Snellgrove and Hallahan locking up. Michael Sparks goes up to block, and that's going to put Hallahan into the wall. He's able to hold on to it. You got to keep an eye on that. You do not want that to keep happening right here at Daytona. The wall is known to suck cars in. They got to keep a good old eye on that. Hopping out towards the front, I see a lot of support there for Patrick Caruccio there in the 18 vehicle. He still listed as the 44 in here for some reason. That's not quite true anymore. We got to keep a... I think we should mention to fix that there. And you can see last season's champion there, Stephen Black there in the Fanatec Black Chevrolet Camaro. He switched out cars just because he's going to be racing the Corvette here at the Daytona 24 in the next few months. So I think he wanted to keep that nice and consistent. That's what he told me, at least. See, everyone's starting to build up here. Jeffrey Belk has been holding on to this lead this entire time so far as they go into lap number 3. He's got a commanding lead, and it looks like Jesse Atkinson is doing a good job of keeping there right with him. He does not want to, I think Jesse knows it's his first race. He does not want to push him too hard, which is a respectable move to take. Sometimes it's just not worth it to be pushing when you know it's not everything is on the line. This is just the duels after all. 10 laps, and then we're going to be going on to duel number 2 to determine your outside lane. Cluccio falling way far back there. Does not want to get up in anyone's business right now, which is a fair game. So it can be real, very, very aggressive up here. We can see Blake Hensley there in the number 31 as well for Cyclone Racing. Steve Black and Sylvan Seguin currently running in 7th in that 31 Kellogg's Chevrolet Camaro. Now, looking at the outside lane, you can see that is a whole group of cars. That is going to be Great White North Racing, except for their other teammate there. You can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, Paul Ems. They have left out in the dust right now. Those 3 cars are all on the same team, and you can see that as they're all going to be going bumper to bumper to get that little bit. Thank you everyone that has joined in here tonight. I appreciate everyone's attendance, and I know that the guys out on track do too. Mile-an-hour racing we have here at Daytona International Raceway. Everyone is still in their pretty chained state right now. Very long line of cars up until it looks like Hensley there, where everyone is going to be single file. Sometimes that is the safest move, as people get left out in the dust. Especially in a short race like this, where it is just the duels. Last season, multi-time winner Ryan Fradian here in the number 81 Toyota Camry is struggling a little bit for speed as he's down in 14th position. He's got a lot of cars around him, and he has to get somewhere if he wants to make sure he's out front for this CASCAR 250. That's going to be pretty simple. Kyle Mondeo there in the Waterloo Brewing. Unless he changed manufacturers, he's still yet. Oh no, he changed manufacturers. Grand River Racing there, but the Waterloo Brewing has changed to Camaro. I was gonna talk to Kyle a bit beforehand when the race started. He just showed up last minute here, so that is a bit unfortunate. However, it is good to see Kyle out on track, and I know he's got a lot of new teammates, including the number 18 of Patrick Caruccio. A lot of eyes up front right now as we're seeing these guys hold it together real well. I think everyone's just trying to chain up right now, especially your top 3 up here. You can see Gallo and Belk there. They are teammates, and I think right now that is their biggest idea, is to keep themselves together so they don't have to worry about any issues down the line. You can see Jesse, though. He is right on the bumper of Belk there. He's not going to let him have this easily. Jesse's going to see if he can outside at any point here. There's only a few laps left, so he's got to make up his mind if he's going to do it or not now. And he's got to hope someone's going to be there out there with him. And that's a turn! Number 22 of Greg Snellgrove turns Cody Snyder all the way back there. That is the number 4 there. He was absolutely just destroyed after that. So we're going to go and see what happened here at Daytona International Raceway. All right, we return here. We can follow along quite what happened there. We see Cody Snyder there in the HKS number 4. Greg comes down. Oh, it looks like they just have a hair in that code, though, but Greg came down on him. That's going to send both of them to the rear. We can see Snyder and Michael Sparks just goes right into him there. that is going to make this a lot more difficult for both of those guys. Unfortunate. Yikes. Cody Snyder was a temporary driver last season, so it's not his first start here in CASCAR, but it is his first full-time season. And just get plowed by a rookie there after getting collided by the league owner is a rough spot to be in. I know he's not going to be too happy about that one, but sometimes there's just nothing too much you can do about it. All right, heading up back front, we can see that Jeffrey Belk still has the lead on this. I don't know why it's saying Cody's up. There we go. Sometimes the iRacing system can get a little bit funky when it comes to everyone's positions, but Belk is still holding on to the lead. Atkinson still in second, and Wes Gallo there still in third. These guys are going to have a lot of tension brewing up between them right now as they all have to pace at, I believe it's 65 they keep it at here in the Cup cars. Under pace, and that is just very slow. So they're all going to be a little bit antsy to get on the throttle once again. Unfortunate to see that happen, though. You hate to see wrecks, and especially when they could definitely have been avoided like that one could have been. But nothing you can do about it. Well, with Jeffrey Belk leading the field, let's go and bring him up and see how he is doing here at the CASCAR 250 Duel number 1. Jeff is over the booth. Do you read me?
Yeah, how you doing, though?
Well, you're currently leading here at Duel number 1. I mean, you're in a pretty good spot right now to take home the victory. Do you think you can do it?
I think we have a good shot. We got Wes and Brennan right behind us on the inside lane, so teammates are going to be working together. Let's see what we can do here.
Well, two competitive cars there also within your sights are Jesse Atkinson and Stephen Black. These two have been sticking with you the entire time. Are you any bit nervous about them?
Yeah, if they can get a run going on the outside, they might be able to clear. It's going to be all what they can do on the restart. I'm usually really good getting the jump on the green. We'll see if they can hold up there.
That makes a lot of sense to me. What kind of predictions do you have with this going towards the 250 now?
I'm expecting it to kind of be calm in the beginning, and then as we start getting towards the end of it, everyone's going to start getting a lot more aggressive.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, with 3 laps left to go, as soon as the pace car pulls off one more time, who do you have to thank for your car out here tonight?
As always, Forklift Media, the NASCAR Geek, Equipment Geek Racing, everyone back at the shop, all of my teammates, Sports Star, Hammond Stalker, Equipment Geek in general, you for broadcasting as always, everyone out there for watching.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Jeff. I do appreciate it, and good luck here in these last few laps.
Thank you very much.
Number 55 of Jeffrey Belk there in his Toyota Camry with Equipment Geek Racing, going to be leading once they go green as well. Jesse Atkinson there with his, he's going to be a free agent this season. I was actually able to put together his website information, which our drivers out there, if their families are watching, make sure you remind them to do. Just fill out the information there that is available in the CASCAR Discord server. If you want to find out more about CASCAR, you can make sure you check out www.cascar.net. You can find out more information on the league and anything else about there, so you can see just what kind of races they have coming up on the schedule. Be a single file restart here at Daytona. That's going to make things just a little bit more interesting for these guys here at this highly banked racetrack. Historic. It's good to see everyone out here, and they're going to be racing for these final laps. That is for sure. I don't think anyone wants to give each other an inch here. Get a little bit of glimpse of Tyler Hallahan there in the 88. He actually won last night for the CASCAR shootout, was not broadcasted. But yeah, after the truck race, the League Designs Truck Series, the Cup Series hosted a shootout event, and Tyler Hallahan, even though he went winless in Season 2, was able to come in for a win to start off his season number 3. So it's good to see Tyler out there. Let's go see how he's going to do here tonight at Daytona. Maybe we'll be able to put something on special once again. He's got the car to do it. He's definitely got some super speedway racing, but he's surrounded by a lot of enemies right now. Nobody is teammates with him right around him, except for Mark Lapierre, so that's going to make things just a wee bit more difficult for him. But with that, we're going to hop back up to the front of the field as the pace car has its lights off, and we're leaving turn number 4. That means it's going to be coming down soon here at Daytona. As everyone bunches up now, the pace car pulls off here as we enter into the tri-oval with Jeffrey Belk leading, and it's green flag, and away we go here with duel number 1. Once again, at Daytona, you can see the rear of the field all breaking up back there as everyone up front is real bunched up together. They're all going on green flag. That is the one difference for this season compared to last, is that this is green flag starts only. Actually, that shot reminds me of one thing I got to say there. Equipment Geek Racing won the team championship last year, so the entire Equipment Geek team all has bright orange, well, kind of orange. It's more supposed to be gold, but sometimes it depends on the light what color you get. It's in the gold right there, though. All gold rims just to signify their team win. And that is good for them to put on such a well, in turn number 4, they go now. Jesse Atkinson right on the bumper of that 55 there. He is not going to let him go at all. We'll see how that launch is going to play. He's got to build up a huge run if he wants to have a shot at winning this thing. Imagine that first time win in his first start here at the CASCAR Cup Series. Winning to Jesse Atkinson. But Jeffrey Belk is leading the field on the white flag here at Daytona. Here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, we should check out Schroeder Plumbing. They are a plumbing company in southeast Wisconsin. And, have been doing residential and showroom plumbing for quite a while now. Make sure for Kansas we have a bit more information on that. That is what our sponsor said they're going to get more so that everyone can check them out a little bit later. But there on the white flag, Stephen Black has fallen back. He does not want to get too involved as we see Jesse Atkinson diving to the outside. Can he make a run happen? As we see Jeffrey Belk getting pushed by Wes Gallo. There's a collision there, and Gallo does not let Belk take it. Atkinson still in second position. You can see your field there. Jeffrey Belk takes home the win here at Daytona for duel number 1. Jesse Atkinson only in second. Man, what a start that was off to the season, and that was just duel number 1. Well, that's going to bring up once again there of Jeffrey Belk so we can see how he did it. Jeff, it's no up in the booth. Do you read me?
How you doing?
Well, you just got your first win of the season, even if it was just a duel. How are you doing?
Doing good. That was really close there at the end.
It was. Atkinson was right there on your outside. I think Wes Gallo definitely helped you quite a bit by giving that big push towards the end.
Oh, yeah. He gave me a shunt just like he did last season.
I know that the races between everyone on your team, especially at the Super Speedways, have been incredibly close. Photo finishes. Are we going to start adding up to that now?
We'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. Well, what are your predictions now going into the rest of the 250, now that you've actually had a bit of a race experience?
I think for the most part that everyone's being able to keep the cars in line. I know with the shootout we had the other night, we were having issues where cars were bouncing up and down the lane. So I think it's going to be a lot cleaner than that race was. Really just trying to keep the car in one piece until we get towards the end of the 100 laps.
That makes a lot of sense. You definitely have a good car with you here tonight. What about your team? Are you confident in them?
Always.
I gotta ask. It's all about the probing.
No, they're all great drivers. Brian, Brandon, Cody, Wes, sometimes Wes. No, they're all great.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that everyone on your team is able to have a good time and able to be very competitive. Well, with that, I already just asked you last time if you had anyone to thank out there, so I'm going to let you go, and if there's anything you want to say to our audience, now's the time.
Let's go racing, boys.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Jeff. I appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Belk of the number 55 Toyota Camry able to take home the win. Looks like I just got a message there from Greg Snellgrove saying that iRacing completely screwed up his dual settings, and there is now a warm-up in there, and he is not too happy about it. Oh, man. Not good. But that's okay. It's only a bit of a short warm-up. Let's go bring up Jesse Atkinson, who was able to take home a second place here at the CASCAR Duel number 1. I know that he, I'm sure, is a little bit disappointed in that, not being able to secure the win. However, he did put up a good show nonetheless. That's if he's in the Discord server. And if you are here a driver, or you know one of the drivers out there, make sure they're in the CASCAR Discord server, which you can join in off the website. And it looks like Jesse is not. You see, there it is. You got to make sure you're in there, just so that if you ever get a podium or you're in an interesting spot, I'll bring you up. That is one of the great parts about having a manual broadcast. so that you can actually participate. Jesse, it's good to see you out there on the chat. I hope you do join in one of them so I can bring you up. There he is. Let's go and bring him up here. Jesse, it's good to see you. How you doing?
Oh, hold on, I have the stream up. Hello, I'm doing good.
Well, you just had your first start here with CASCAR and took home a second place for the duel number 1. Are you prepared for the 250?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Pretty great guys out here, it seems, so it's just, I guess it's just a matter of staying at the front the entire 100 laps and hopefully not wreck.
Well, you got a friend in Brett there who keeps reminding you that you're out here and that he wants to see you win, and that he reminds you that you won the ARCA race and Wayne Peterson for the win.
Of course. That's what I should have done. I should have done the Wayne Peterson scheme since I'm the 00 here too.
Isn't that the 00 where the fonts do not match?
Yep, 2 different zeros.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, with that, I have to ask a little bit. What's up with the Barbie scheme?
We had an incident on the racetrack earlier tonight. We hit Donk.
What do you mean you hit Donk?
Look at the right front fender.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
We hit him.
Wait. Oh no. Are you telling me that there is now a big yellow spot?
There is.
Oh no.
There's an imprint.
Well, to anyone that doesn't know out there, Donk is another vehicle that Jesse drives, as they all have names, don't they?
They do.
So who's driving tonight's Mustang?
Glenda.
Of course. Gotta love it. Well, Jesse, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Is there anyone you want to thank out there for your job that you've been doing so far?
Gotta thank Glenda. Obviously, she's driving the car. Gotta thank myself for keeping Glenda in check. Gotta thank 4Click Media, Atkinson Designs, Pierce Graphics, and then thank you for broadcasting, and then obviously thank CASCAR for putting on this race tonight.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Jesse. I do appreciate it. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Jesse Atkinson in the 00. I think to all of our everyone out there, this is a pretty good summary of who Jesse is and how he likes to do everything. It's Jesse. So that's the best summary I got. Well, based on what I'm seeing right now, and it looks like we are not going to have a second duel, and that's what I think Greg was trying to say a little bit earlier on, is that iRacing really did mess with all of his settings. So with that, let's go and head on in so we can see how this race is going to be looking. We are here with the CASCAR 250 here at Daytona, presented here on twitch.tv/4cloak. I want to thank Schroeder Plumbing for giving us a fantastic Cup Series to race in. Honestly, they are great guys over in Wisconsin, so thank you very much to them and 921 Mobile DJ. Yes, Brady, that is exactly right. Exciting season approaching. Well, with that, let's go and run through your race order. Starting on pole position is going to be Richard Drake in the number 41 and Rob Carroll there in the outside number 2. Then in third position is going to be Jeffrey Belk with Paul Ems alongside in fourth. Third row is going to go to Jesse Atkinson with Wes Gallo there on his outside. Fourth row in seventh position is going to be the number 18 of Patrick Coluccio. And then on his outside is going to be the number 3 of Matt Malavagna. Okay. And we're going to fix that there. Don't know quite what happened. Sometimes iRacing, when there's a lot of cars, likes to misbehave a little bit there. In ninth position is going to be the number 42 of Michael Sparks in his first start here in CASCAR. 10th is going to go to Michael Jennings. 11th is going to go to Tyler Hallahan with Brandon Fiedler there on his outside. Stephen Black is going to start in 13th, and Mark Lapierre is going to be alongside. Row number 8 is going to go to Cody Snyder and Brian Fradian, bring up 15th and 16th. Then finally, the rear of your field is going to be Blake Hensley, Kyle Mundell, and Thomas Snellgrove rounding out the field. With that, we're going to be in for a fantastic race event here at Daytona as we see our cars rolling through turns 3 and 4. I want to thank the sponsor I have out there, Pierce Graphics, for putting together our overlay package, as it does look very clean as always. Make sure you check out Pierce Graphics so you get all of your overlay needs. Well, as we see Richard Drake leading the field to the green flag there with the iRacing.com pace car. I'm excited to get this race off to a good start. Pace car is off, and...
Green, green, green.
Uh-oh. It didn't do it. No! Oh, I love my stuff. But they're off to a start here at Daytona International Raceway. They're too wide for a start. That's... Late start's better than none. There we go. Entering turn number 1, they go now. It looks like the number 41 of Richard Drake has this thing under control. He's got the number 2 of Rob Carroll still alongside. He is not going to make this thing easy for him. As we see Jeffrey Belk and Jesse Atkinson there bringing up 3rd and 4th position. Number 39, Brandon Fiedler and Tyler Hallahan there following alongside. This is 100 laps here at the CASCAR 250. We see Rob there getting a good run on the outside. He has got that, and he's going to pull down now, so he is now the leader here at the CASCAR 250. He does not want to let this go to anyone else, as he's had a bit of a rough season. Last time before, only able to make a few of the races. He wants to get this thing in the bag and off to a good start. Richard Drake there, Rational Richard Drake, as I should say, there is in 2nd position with Jeffrey Belk now in 3rd. It's going to bring up the rest of your field there alongside so you can see what is going on here in this fantastic Cup Series roster. You can see throughout the entire field there, everyone has got it. They're 3 wide there right now, running through turn number 2. Tyler Hallahan on the outside. Blake Hensley there, running a bit slow there in the center as Mark Lapierre is able to get the position. Stephen Black, they're riding that yellow line. He wants to make sure Hensley can get down. Those two are teammates. Up front, looks like Jesse Atkinson has been falling back. He was going to slot in there, but not quite fast enough. He's now going to have Hallahan behind him with Malavanya as well. Mark Lapierre there right now, and the 8 Kinney Drugs mobile is trying to make some moves going on as he's able to get up to the front already here at Daytona. Looks like Richard Drake is now starting to fall back a little bit. He moves to the outside so he can fall back. He's a little bit there. In that center lane is not the greatest place to be sometimes, so he's going to be falling back a little bit more now. You see Drake there as he continues to fall back now. Jesse Atkinson is going to be pushing him until he's going to slot in there, and Jennings does let him in. Michael Jennings there in the number 86 AERL machine has been racing here with CASCAR the entirety of last season, and now he is going to be here to promote his league and do whatever he can to succeed. He was able to win here last season at Daytona here with their own CASCAR 250 beforehand. So we're going to see what he's going to be able to do this time for the 2021-2022 season. Following along there, we still see Jeffrey Belk there in 2nd position, following along with Rob Carroll there. Brandon Fiedler, his teammate of Belk, able to catch up there and be in 3rd position. That is going to be an Equipment Geek Racing row through 2 through 4th. Good spot for them all to be in, which means they're now going to be a little bit more competitive heading forward. Honestly, teammates make this a lot easier when you have someone that you can draft with. Now, that is one thing about the setup they were discussing before, is how are they going to handle it? It's going to be a little bit more of a loose setup, and everyone has to drive the car a bit more. Is it going to try to be a little bit more stable, and everyone is going to be running a very similar line when they choose a little bit more stable setup so they can run all through. Once again, I want to thank everyone that has come out here tonight at the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series for Daytona with the CASCAR 250. See, Shorter Plumbing there is going to be sponsoring the number 39 car. It's got Wes Gallo there in the League Designs number 9 right behind. They got Mark Lapierre and Blake Hensley behind. Stephen Black there running right now in 7th position. Stephen was the winner of last season's championship. And he's changed manufacturers from Toyota to Chevrolet. Favorite sights there, seeing all those cars race by at the exact same time. It is fantastic. They all sound great. And that is one of the benefits you get here on iRacing, is get to hear them anytime you want. As they now on lap number 6 of 100 here with the CASCAR Shorter Plumbing Cup Series. Tyler Hallahan currently running in 9th position. As I said before, he was able to win this shootout. He's got his teammate of Greg Snowgrove pushing him right now as they head through backstretch. Let's see if they're going to be able to hold on to their good positions. It is going to be a battle to keep everything going. Oh, that is a push from Jeffrey Belk, too hard for Rob Carroll into the wall. Richard Drake goes down to the bottom. Oh, that's a pitch, and there it is. That's the wreck. That's one of the big ones we're going to see here at the CASCAR 250, and the caution is out. Oh, and just a final collision there we get to see. That is, that's going to be a faster fair moment for a lot of these guys. A huge wreck already. uncommon here at Daytona for these guys. They were able to run Talladega last season completely 100% green. They're not going to be happy with that one. All right, let's go ahead and follow along to see quite what just happened there. I mean, that was a event and a half. You see they're going into just through the road course section right there. Bus stop, just a bit too hard of a push there out of Jeffrey Belk into the number 2. He can stays up into the wall, which is nice. He does not want to give anyone too hard of a time, but it looks like he just goes up too. Oh, and then Richard Drake, because he was down low, causes another collision as it looks like Snellgrove was going up high. Oh, that collection there of Sylvan Seguin is just unfortunate, being spun around like that. He almost got through. That is a lot of cars involved in that wreck, and that is going to make things that much harder for everyone out here tonight. So I think Jennings was able to get through almost unscathed because he was able to slow down just enough in time. Absolutely unfortunate to have such a huge wreck here at the CASCAR 250. Well, as we resume live here at Daytona, Jeffrey Belk will still have the lead with Brandon Fiedler in second. Now, to change things up a little bit, we're not going to bring up Jeffrey. We're going to bring up somebody else. And if there's someone you want up in the chat, make sure you call them out so that we can see how they are doing out there tonight. But with that, let's go and bring up Mark Lapierre. He's doing real well right now, and I'd be excited to see what he's going to be able to do here tonight. Mark, it's me up in the booth. Do you read me?
I sure do.
Well, currently you're running in 4th here at the CASCAR 250. You got a good car on your hands. How is it driving?
Driving pretty good.
Well, currently you've had a pretty uneventful race so far, able to keep up into the top lines and doing well. Is that going to continue?
I hope so. If all goes well.
Well, what's your plan to keep it that way?
Stay up front.
Very in-depth. That is a very in-depth plan.
That's why I didn't pit, so stay up front.
I see. What is going to be your pit strategy, do you think, if you're willing to share?
Probably end up going with my teammates. Of course, I didn't pit with the others, but they were involved in that wreck. We'll see. I might have to go with these guys, which is EG. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Do you think you can race very clean there with the Equipment Geek guys up front?
Oh, sure.
You sure? You sound.
I'm a little bit under the weather, so that's why I sound like the way I sound.
Okay. Okay. Well, with that, I do hope you feel a bit better. Is there anyone to thank before I let you go?
Nope. Just Kenny Drugs, I guess, and teammates, and for you for broadcasting.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mark. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Number 8 of Mark Lapierre there in the Kenny Drugs Chevrolet Camaro. And I just got a correction there from Rob Carl in the field. I appreciate the correction. I feel like I did that last time. I said Carl, and then someone corrected me to Carol. Well, we're going to stick with Carl now that I know that's been corrected from the source, which is the important bit of information you get. Looks like Brandon Fiedler is going to be pulling out a little bit in front of the pace car there. Not quite sure what his plan is, but he's currently sticking with Jeffrey Belk for a 1-2 start for Equipment Geek Racing. And they've got half team owner, half not, of Wes Gallo there in the Fisher Sport Racing number 9, even though he has an Equipment Geek logo there on his rear quarter panel. Makes sense. It's all part of the plan. Equipment Geek does good work, and they put in a lot of practice time, so I'm sure that they have a good race ahead of them if they can keep it together. And right now they've been doing a pretty good job of doing so. Put the 21 cars out on track, Everybody right now is back into a good spot. Thankfully, they get that one fast repair to make things out a little bit easier. As the pace car heads off here one more time at Daytona, as they now go green flag for the CASCAR 250. Jeffrey Buck off to a pretty good start. Greg Snowgrove dives down right to the bottom. Something tells me he probably is going to get a penalty for that. As that was a very good lane change there, which you can't really have. And it looks like Equipment Geek is now locked out 1, 2, 3. Mark Lapierre left out on the high side. Malavania coming up there in the number 3 to give him a push, but it's not quite enough. And it looks like we're having some network connections there with some of these guys. You see Blake Hensley now with Cyclone Racing giving a push to the number 9. Goes out to the outside. He's got his teammate there of Stephen Black going to be pushing him on lap number 10. Okay. Not sure why it's white up there. Anyway, as we head down through, he's going to get a little bit of a push, which is going to make things a little bit easier. It looks like they're going to be sticking to a tandem right now, as the idea is Greg Snowgrove with a lot more run there, currently in 6th position, is going to help with the Cyclone guys alongside. Heading now into turn number 1 once again. Belk still has a lead on this thing. I think he's going to be one of your guys you have to watch to see who's going to be out front the entire race. Brandon Fiedler there is going to be following alongside for right now, as they've got Blake Hensley now in 3rd. Wes Gallo shuffled back into 5th. Looks like Hensley and Black right now are trying to be real competitive as they pull alongside Brandon Fiedler there. You can see that lane change there out of Jeffrey Bell, trying to see if he can make his car a little bit wide. That is the game plan a lot of these guys end up using. And it looks like that is not going to be his plan for right now, as Blake Hensley is going to be leading a lap here at Daytona. Let's see if he's going to be able to clear Belk out front before Stephen Black has to fall back. That is going to be the question. Do they continue to race side by side, or is when Hensley clear, is he going to block that inside lane and leave Black out to dry? That is the thing you have to keep in mind, is that when you do that, you leave your teammate on the outside high and dry. Down the backstretch they go here at Daytona. Everyone's got this thing under control now, so we're racing on through. Bilk slowing down there, a little bit of a checkup there for that inside lane. The EG crew do have it well controlled down below, though. As we're shooting 3 wide there, a little bit further back. We see the number 17 there of Thomas Snellgrove. That is going to be Greg Snellgrove's dad there, also racing. He's got that thing in a pretty good spot right now, as he's got the number 41 on his outside with a big bump there. You see there, Rational Richard Drake's Toyota Camry. Liddell lets him in so they can keep on racing nice and clean. I think that's the idea everyone has here, so that they can keep this thing green. Sometimes that's all you need. Big push there out of that 39 into the 55. He's got the position for sure. Hensley a little bit loose there in turns 3 and 4. He's got to make sure he keeps that thing under control. That is one of the difficult things to do here at Daytona, especially. New Daytona, even though it's a lot less bumpy than Legacy, still has its issues when it comes to bumpiness, especially in that high side lane. Got to keep that thing under control. Actually, nowadays in iRacing, it might be a little bit more realistic to run Legacy Daytona. Because real-life Daytona has a lot of bumps on it now, too. This is the 2011 scan. Unlike the Cup Series in real life, where they ride the high line the entire time, we do not in iRacing, we ride the bottom. Your Cyclone Racing guys have the lead for sure. They move down. They've got it now. They've taken the lead. That is going to be Blake Hensley and Stephen Black out to the lead. That is going to leave Rational Richard Drake there a little bit high side. He is not going to be getting a spot, though, as the Equipment Geek guys are not going to let them in. Kyle Mundell right there in his Chevrolet Camaro files in front of Mark Lapierre, leaving Richard Drake completely in the dust. He is now going to have to either slot in. It looks like Mundell does let him in now, but that was going to make it very difficult for Richard to get back up to the front if they're going to do that again. Down the backstretch they all go there. You can see that long single file train. Sometimes it does end up like that, where you have that kind of racing. But they've got this thing together pretty good for right now as they a little bit further back in the field. We can see Rob Carl there is going to be leading up this second pack with Cody Snyder and Atkinson there behind. These three right there were all involved in that previous wreck, so I think they're trying to see if they can group together a little bit more so they can stay a bit further back and not have to worry about the dangers of pack racing, which you often see out front. Patrick Coluccio there in the number 18, going along behind his old teammate of Mark Lapierre in the 8. Has been keeping it pretty good so far. He's got to keep this thing under control for us to make sure he can continue to put on a good show. Heading a lot further back, we're going to see the number 22 of Greg Snellgrove here with all of his buddies with the Great White North Racing. And it looks like the Jennings Esport crew as well. See Michael Jennings leading that outside lane as they go around the rookie of Michael Sparks there in the number 42. Looks like Brian Fradian with some damage is going to be running back there as well, and Paul Ems a bit further back as well. That leaves the question of where is Sylvan Seguin and Matt Malavagna, and the 66 of Seguin is way far back, as is Malavagna. These two have a lot of ground to make up right now, and they're going to be hoping for a caution this entire time. And as that's going on, we see Blake Hensley still has his lead, his teammate of Stephen Black there right behind. You can see that little micro movement we see there out of the 98. He's going up just a tiny bit to block that 55. He's going to keep those Equipment Geek guys there right behind. They're not going to get through, no matter how much Stephen, like, it doesn't matter how much Belk or anybody there tries. They're not going to get by Stephen Black. And that's one of the things that you get here with pack racing, especially on a track like Daytona, where that bottom lane is just that much faster. Sometimes it just ends up like that. You gotta, have a teammate there right with you, and they're not gonna let you through, ever. But with three cars right there, if they can maybe convince Richard Drake or even Mundell to go with them, the 55, 39, and 9 could stick it to the outside and get around, if they have just enough pace. Now, one of the things I always do like to see is the inconsistent number fonts between teams. We can see between the 31 and the 98 there that they have two different number fonts, and that the 55 and the 9 have a similar number font, but the 39 does not. However, Brandon Fiedler's number 39 font is similar to the 81 on Brian Freddy and their other teammates, so they get a pass there. Mundell, though, in the number 34 is running a very similar number font to the guys up front. It is number 34 looking like the Richard Petty font. It is not the same as the number 18 that you'll find on Patrick Coluccio. Just one of those things to watch, and is rather funny. Great White North does it as well. You can see the 8 font there is quite different. It looks a lot more like the RCR 8 that they're using right now on Tyler Reddick's NASCAR vehicle, as these guys are in the CASCAR Shorter Pumping Cup Series. Chaining single file. Hopping back a little bit further, we're going to see right now, this is now becoming a group of 3. It looks like Paul Ems is way slower than he should be, and is now running with your guys back here, and he's even going to be left behind now. Yep, that is definitely a lot of damage on the number 28 on Paul Ems. He's got to be hoping for a caution so that he can use his repair and get somewhere, as that engine damage he has right now is bad. That's not aero damage slow. That's engine damage slow. Hopping a bit further, we're going to jump up to the 00 of Jesse Atkinson. He's following along with Rob Carl and Cody Snyder. These guys are also a bit further behind. I think they are also suffering for some aero and potentially engine damage. It's a death sentence here at a track like Daytona. You can't have engine damage and get anywhere. A track like Martinsville, you can have engine damage and it won't really make a difference. But your top end speed is all that matters here at Daytona, and these guys have none of it. Hopping back up a little further, you can see the 18 of Coluccio there falling behind. The single file train has a good rhythm going. Nobody's really getting anywhere right now, so it's currently working out in their favor. Wish I had a little bit more to say right now about this entire crew, but this is kind of what it looks like a lot of the time. Everyone really does just kind of sit together at a track like this, and they have to put on a show for themselves, really, more than anything. Well, with that, I suppose now it's probably a good time to jump over to the number 55 55 of Jeffrey Belk and take an inside look and see what his thing is looking like there with his bright pink Ford Cloak Media Camry. Keep in mind he is running in the pink so that he can support Breast Cancer Awareness Month this October. One vehicle that would also have that was not able to join us here tonight would be the number 48 of Will Cloud with his pink Ford Cloak Media Breast Cancer Awareness vehicle as well. See, this is what it's like to be inside one of the cars. Turn that volume down just a wee bit more. Here at Daytona, he's following along. He's getting a push from behind. You can see there up in the top. You can see the mirror just a little bit. As you follow along, see the black. You can hear that throttle pattern. They're going to be heavy on the gas throughout this part, and then a little bit of lighting. And that is going to make things just like that. Thank you very much for the question, Brad. I do appreciate it. Yes, it is 60% fuel. Means I am starting to expect these guys to, the ones that did not go into pit, like Belk, to be going in pretty soon. Let's go take a look at our driver stints to see what everybody's laps are looking like. Looks like everybody's on a pretty similar fuel strategy, minus Richard Drake and those crew, as they are going to be 15 instead of 23 laps in. That's going to make things that much more difficult for these guys, though, as they have to put on a lot of fuel-saving effort. Something you don't usually have to worry too much about, but sometimes you just end up having to. Just a lot of this group suddenly just disappeared, which is not a good sign. Looks like Mark Lapierre has decided to go into the pits. That is not going to be good for his pace, as a lot of these guys. Patrick Alucci there having some front end damage, making him a bit slower as well, as your front row are all still running up together. These guys have not gone into pit yet, which is going to make it that much more difficult for them, as we see Lapierre now going to be rolling off pit road alone. That is going to be a thing that is difficult to manage. Being there by yourself is basically the worst thing you can do. Well, with the pace these guys are putting on right now, and we are going a lap down now, it is about time where we're going to see a lot more lapping starting to come into effect. Imagine the next person up is going to be Sylvan Sequin, as it looks like Snellgrove is off in the pits, and there they go. I was talking about it. They're all going to be going to the pits soon, and this is it. Your front row is all into the pits now. Hensley able to really keep it under control as they enter the pits. That is going to be Jeffrey Belk there in number 55 in a pretty good stopping fashion he was able to take. This is going to be the race off of pit road, as the whole crew of cars are now going to be racing by. Patrick Coluccio out to the lead here at Daytona. Rob Carl there going to be on the outside, pushing Cody Snyder now to the lead. Looks like Equipment Geek is going to be in the lead no matter what kind of group they're in right now. So that number 4 car is basically by himself right now when it comes to teammates. He does have Rob Carl there, though, right behind him, and he looks like he's pretty content with working with him. Marco Lapierre, they're going to be riding the bottom, does not move up to the top to get out of the way. Going to make everything a lot more difficult for these guys. Going to break up the field. See Tom Snellgrove going into the pits there, just out of view. Crew races on by now. These guys are probably going to have to pit in a few laps as well, so expect to see some pit road strategy start really coming into play, especially after that big wreck. I mean, that caused a lot of shakeups when it comes to having to go into pits. If you went in, then you absolutely had to go in, but sometimes it's just what you got to do. Michael Denny's currently running in 4th right now. Mr. Hybrid himself, that's his nickname here with CASCAR. He knows somehow to save mystical amounts of fuel. Nobody is really sure how, but he always does. Looks like right now he's in a pretty good spot, as he's going to have Greg Snellgrove there behind him. Jesse Atkinson coming back now into 3rd. He's in a pretty good spot once again. And something tells me he's going to plan on keeping it that way. Still, in his first start for CASCAR, he's doing real well. Able to, keep himself out front. Even after a collision like that, it looks like his pit strategy has definitely helped him here. We're going to have to check back in towards the end to see where he's going to be at. as that is going to be the real determining factor of whether or not he's in a fantastic spot or not. These guys are all pushing to see what kind of different lanes they can take. One of the interesting strategies you can do here at Daytona is figure out where you want to push rather than just pushing all the time, especially with this new package that these guys have, courtesy of iRacing.com. As they are now going to start catching up to Thomas Snellgrove, who is right now running in last place. He's going to be putting a lap down here with his rookie season. Hopefully he can make a few more races this time. Last season he was only able to make one start at Michigan. There in that 17 Ford Mustang. He's hoping to change it up. Now, on the speakings of last season, we know Stephen Black was going to take home the championship with a close battle between him, Jeffrey Belk, and Greg Snellgrove. I mean, those guys were all up front the entire time going into your Final Four. Honestly, just more things to watch. So, whoever can win this race is going to have a great jump start towards the end of the season if they can keep it consistent and attend every single race. And I know a lot of these guys want to. As I said earlier with Greg Snellgrove when he was up in the booth, this has now become a pay season. But even with a paid season, they were able to get 21 cars out on track for Daytona, and that's with a couple guys that did pay not making it. That's impressive. So I'd expect to see probably at least 18 cars, maybe 17 per race here at twitch.tv/SportCloak almost every week. You can check the schedule here for the CASCAR Cup Series over on www.cascar.net. In 2 weeks' time, when we go ahead and come back to racing here with CASCAR, it's going to be at Kansas for the SportCloak Media 180. Then after that, I believe it's going to be at Michigan with the Wingnut Productions 200. Sponsored by Rob there is we're inside his cockpit camera. Yep, I said it. They're all going to start coming down soon. Tyler Hallahan locking up this tire. Same with Patrick Coluccio as they all now come down to pit road. Carl out to the outside. I don't think Jesse knows about that pit road rule. That is one of the things. Sylvan Seguin is the sheriff when it comes down to this kind of stuff, as he will always put down the banhammer if you're not running where you're supposed to in the pit lane. Jesse Atkinson there has a great pit stop, able to come in and stop just on the line he needs to, getting tons of fuel, and we're going to see the tire strategy coming into play here too, as we can start hearing all the cars starting to wind up that are going to be coming by. And Blake Hensley is going to be leading that group with Jeffrey Belk there following behind. It looks like Rob Carroll was able to take home the race off pit road. Jesse Atkinson getting in second off that. Michael Jennings is able to move up into third for that now 8th. Its strategies here at Daytona do make big implications later on as to whether or not you can make it towards the end of this race. 250 miles is a long time, even for the Cup cars. You know, it really is something. So these guys have to make sure they have a good vehicle with them here tonight as we're following along with Blake Hensley. This is what open air looks like. That's a rare sight here at Daytona. I'm sure he's happy to see plenty of it, although I know that he is not a big fan of that bright pink Toyota Camry filling up his rearview mirror. So now start to catch up. I believe they're going to be starting to come back on some of these guys. There it is. That's Matt Malavani going to be moving out to the outside, so he does not get in the way of anybody racing here tonight with his good wrench number 3 Chevrolet Camaro. And one thing I should mention about Malavani there, who we just passed up, and we're going to head back to him so we can see a little bit more of him. With his number 3 currently running in 18th, is this marks Matt's 15th year. 15th of sim racing. Think about that. Sim racing for 15 years. That's something else. Absolutely something else. But I know he's a real big fan of this season right now here in NASCAR, as it marks an important anniversary there on Dale Earnhardt's death, and a driver that means a lot to Matt Malavani as he's currently willing to run a number 3 Chevrolet Camaro. Ran the 18 last season, if I'm not mistaken, so that's a impactful move to the number 3 for him. Hopping back up front, though, you got your group of cars up here, first through 5th. Stephen Black leading up the second group there in 6th, and Richard Drake going to be falling behind with that one. Looks like just these two, actually. And and Rob Carroll a bit further back there. You can see now leading the rest of it. It's a big push from Jesse Atkinson there. These two are tandeming real well, as they do have a group there with Michael Jennings, Fradian, Snellgrove, and Hallahan behind, though. They got to keep an eye on those two guys if they don't want to get passed up, because when you have a good group of cars all together, that's when the momentum builds, and they're going to be able to launch alongside and make something happen. But for right now, everyone's kind of just running their own race. Nobody's in too much of a hurry to get around anybody else. They're all kind of just together. Some of the information on these guys. Got Brandon Fielder here. Started in 6th, up to 3rd. He's doing real well for himself right now. Like Hensley, who I knew started a bit further back. Yep, started in 10th and is now leading this race. He's got a fair amount of laps led, too. More than Belk, if I'm not mistaken, at this point. So that is a pretty good spot for him to be in right now. I know that he's pretty happy to be in a good spot. Truth be told, sometimes that's all that matters, is being in a competitive position and able to lead a race. Now, one of the other good things is if we take a look here, which I get to see on my screens, the amount of incident points is very low currently right now. Everyone's able to keep it nice and smooth. Nobody wants to, really be too aggressive with each other, as that is a death sentence. Like I said, this is a long race. If you're willing to just constantly, put each other into the wall and just want to drive super aggressively, you get nothing done. So whoever's going to be able to come across the line in the lead many laps from now is going to be feeling the real celebrations of victory, as they're able to survive a long endurance of just constant racing. Back a little bit further, we can see Greg Snellgrove here in the number 22 Atlantic Carrier Chevrolet Camaro. That is one of the partners of CASCAR's Atlantic Carrier. Same with BTT, who is over on Tyler Hallahan's car right behind him. They're one of the partners here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Remember, Schroeder Plumbing is in southeast Wisconsin, which you can go and check out eventually. Make sure to get more information to you on Kansas as a sponsor of the site. Currently chasing right now Brian Fradian there, who has a lot of front end damage there with his Toyota Camry. Not quite sure where all that came from, unless he did get that in that really big previous wreck. He's had that damage for quite a while now, so he must have gotten that in the big wreck many laps ago now. But he's currently putting it together quite well. I think Greg is a bit aware that he had something to do with that wreck, even if he wasn't the direct cause of it. Figuring he had to dive along the outside there of the number 2, so I think right now he's putting it on the bit of reserve power. Does not want to put himself in too much any kind of trouble. I was talking to these guys before the race, and I was told that Greg got the most amount of pit road penalties for not being on the right-hand side last season, and I think that's rather funny. And it actually had some playoff implications going into the final races. He wasn't able to make it to become a champion. That's along the 18 there of Patrick Lucio, now going a lap down. See that he just does not have the pace to keep up with these guys. That sounds like a lot of aero and engine damage. He's got to make sure he keeps that Chevrolet Camaro together here with his Sports Fanatics podcast sponsor. Actually, that was one of the sponsors of last season's races is Sports Fanatics Podcast. Check out on most major podcasting places such as Spotify and Google Play. Search on that. That's going to be Sports Fanatics Podcast. I know Patrick also likes to do some dirt racing, so I'm sure he's going to be promoting that a lot more in other places that do more dirt. Speaking of dirt, actually, we're going to head over to the 00 of Jesse Atkinson. And he is actually a very big dirt driver. He currently is running in the G2 League right now, if I'm not mistaken. They do a lot of broadcasting on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And he currently is running in the B6 series, if I'm not mistaken. They have a real big thing there, and I don't follow it 100%, but that's what Jesse does a lot of, and he does that with Adria Esports. Same with endurance. Jesse's been really picking up his endurance and dirt side of this thing, so when it comes later in the season, where I know that there's going to be the Dirt Bristol race, I'm sure that Jesse is going to be a one to watch there, as he is going to be very competitive. Regardless, dirt racing is something that is just a little bit different here, especially on iRacing when it comes to the Cup cars. It'll be good to see when we get there. Drake now. They're going to be able to get around him on the outside lane. This is where you get to choose. This is too wide racing action we're seeing once again, as they are now up to Stephen Black in 6th place. Richard Drake there in the number 41 Toyota Camry. He's got that bottom lane. He's just got to put himself in the right spot to take home the position. He's got Stephen in front of him. This is going to be the battle for 6th position. Keep that in mind. This is for 6. This is going to be a crucial spot later on, though. That's why they're going to be racing so aggressively with it. Rob Carl still has it with him right now. He is able to get around. He has the position. Stephen Black there is going to be behind. And Stephen's not going to put up too much more of a fight. That's Atkinson and Snellgrove stuck to the outside, and those two, they don't have any more support. They're going to have to be falling back. Catch me, Tyler Hallahan. Can they slot in there in front of Franny and Snellgrove does, that's for sure. And it looks like Jesse Atkinson's been left out high and dry, all alone. Stephen Black, though, last year's champion, the 98 Chevrolet Camaro there we're seeing is in a pretty good spot to keep himself in the points right now. 7th position, it's not a bad start, especially here at the Super Speedway, where sometimes the starts are the hardest part of the entire event as we head into the sunset at Daytona. Gotta love it. That is the sunset off of turns 1 and 2 that these guys I already know are going to be hating. I'm sure that you can hear it over the voice chat right now. For iRacing, if we have a radioactive later on, I'm sure you could hear the complaint with the sun in the eyes. One of the other big complaints that I was hearing out of these folks was the plane landing off of turns, I believe it's also 1 and 2, maybe down a little bit elsewhere, where they just say Ronald Reagan did it one time, and now we see it every 15 minutes here on iRacing, which is rather amusing. Jeffrey Belk there in the number 55 has created a decent gap between himself and Blake Hensley. That is an interesting thing to watch, as we see the 28 of Paul Ems. Looks like he was able to get that damage repaired. He eventually came in for his pit stop and realized that he actually had to repair his thing if he wanted to keep on racing. He is now, well in 16th and a lap down, is currently matching pace with your leaders, which is going to put him in a great spot when it comes time for the caution to come out. Like I said, if you want to find out more about CASCAR, you can go and check the website at www.cascar.net. Also got to thank our sponsor over at Schroeder Plumbing in Southeast Wisconsin for putting on a great Cup Series for us here to watch on CASCAR. We also have promotion here. Make sure you go ahead and check out the Tuesday Night Truck Group. That is going to be on Tuesdays at roughly the same time, actually. That you can see for their upcoming races. They're going to be closing out their season pretty soon, so keep an eye on that. So that's a fairly decent gap that Blake Hensley has on these guys, and it looks like that he has to pit in now. Different pit strategies cause different problems. I imagine we're going to be seeing this 55 and go in. That is a huge issue that we're seeing there. Who is that? Paul Vanya? What in the world? Nope, that's... Who was that? Wasn't Hensley. I don't know who that was. Okay. Well, I don't think it was just me that saw that. That was it Sylvan? Nope. Okay, well, I think that might have been one of these iRacing issues of seeing somebody just suddenly, sporadically die, leaving the trioval. And I don't see any radical changes there on our leaderboard, so just going to say okay and pretend that didn't happen. Well, that's iRacing for you. Gotta love it, but sometimes there's just those weird things. One of the good advantages, though, is that whenever there's a bad wreck, nobody actually gets hurt. That is, unless you have a super expensive racing wheel and get your hand caught or something. But it looks like Belka's now fallen back into 3rd position, and that is going to be Brandon Fiedler taking home the lead for right now in that 39 Schroeder Plumbing Spider-Man Toyota Camry. Also got the sponsor of 921 Mobile DJ on that. They are a sponsor of a few other races later down the line, so make sure you tune in to check out the schedule and see those once as well. Kyle Mundell running in a fantastic spot for him, second place. If I remember correctly, Mundell's biggest race he almost had to be Nashville Fairgrounds. That is the track we don't talk about within CASCAR, as that had the most cautions and most laps run under yellow, which is a very, very uncommon thing here. And that caused a bit of an upset as he wasn't able to get that one. Looks like Thomas Snellgrove there is going to be moving now to the outside. Fiedler is going to see if he can fall behind him. He's got a lot of pace there, Snellgrove does. Mundell looking down to the bottom now. He's taking the bottom. Stephen Black is going to be put a lap down. But that's if Stephen can hold on to it until the next yellow. Snellgrove making this a lot more difficult on everybody. Did not let anybody through on that. That means Mundell is going to be taking home the lead. He's got the lead. He's got lap sled now. So he's going to be able to hold on to it as he's falling along with Stephen Black. Brendan Fiedler now put into second. That is unfortunate. So he was going to be able to come up and put a show on as soon as he's able to. And that's what lap cars can do at Daytona. They make those a lot more interesting. As soon as you catch up to them, it just makes it that much harder. Waterloo Brewing, Chevrolet Camaro. Let's see. Random spot in the field. We're going to check in on them. We're going to head and check in on Cody Snyder, who got some lap slide a little bit earlier on there in number 4. So he's running in a pretty good spot right now. Got himself in 17th. Way further down, but he's on a completely different pit strategy. So we see Jesse Atkinson ahead with some damage. So Cody is also down laps as well. Where's Jesse? He's currently not. Mundell still holding on to the lead here. Is about to hit the halfway mark here at CASCAR. The CASCAR 250, that is. Brought to you by Schroeder Plumbing. Up very close to his teammate there, the number 39, Brandon Fiedler. Jeff has got to be careful of that if he doesn't want to spin him out. We saw that was the big issue last time was he pushed just a little bit too hard on Rob, and that caused a lot of issues. So he does not want to do that, especially to his own teammate. As they cross the line for lap number 50 of 100 of the CASCAR 250. And this would have marked the last lap of yesterday's event over with the Week Designs Truck Series. We have Ryan Freddie in at number 81 there, as well as here, took home the win. Check in with Brian and see how he's doing. Currently running in 8th. Currently running in that second pack right now. Still with that heavy damage. I mean, with that damage, he's doing real good for himself right now in that Victos number 81. Tyler Hallahan is going to be leading up that second group there with the number 85. As they come up to Tom Snellgrove, I don't think Snellgrove wants to let him by. Hallahan clearly loose there. Able to hold on to it together, though. Rob Carl there right behind, giving a bit of a push. They got it, and that is going to be the caution out as they completed lap number 50 to go on to 51. Let's put Brandon Fiedler in the lead. He took it. He took home the stage win. See all of our cars racing by there. As soon as they go into the pits, we'll go ahead and bring up Brandon and give him a quick interview. After last season, I don't just instantly bring people up anymore after I caused a lot of problems for Jeff, as he liked to win stages, and I put him into trouble a few too many times. Watkins Glen most notably, where I brought Jeff up, and it messed up his pit, which would have already gotten him some points down, and then because a commentator cursed him, also at Watkins Glen, he crashed off at the restart. So, yeah, I don't think he wants me to bring him up right now. Well, with the number 39, let's go ahead and bring up Brian Freddie in. Not Brian Frey, Brandon Fiedler. Don't know why I got all those up. Brandon, just open the booth. Do you read me?
Hey, what's up, Noah?
Well, you got the stage win. How are you feeling?
Starting to calm down. It was a little stressful for the three of us there. We were all really, really tight in fuel, so that's why we had to come in now. There's no way in heck we could have made it all the way back around.
Well, it clearly worked out in your favor at least a little bit, figuring as you're with teammates and with Mundell. How have you guys been doing with Mundell, by the way?
Very well. I think once the 5, 6 of us, however many there was, once we got off of pit road from the green flag stops, we were all just like, all right, let's just stay on line, try to save as much fuel as we could. So it all worked out.
Clearly did, figuring as you're able to take home the stage win. Are you excited to see what that's going to do for your points later on this season?
Very much so. Very much so. I'm glad I got max points for this week, at least in terms of the max stage points.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, your entire team has actually been doing pretty well here tonight. Are you excited to see what the rest of them can do as well?
Yes, very much so. I believe we're all very strong at super speedway racing. We all work really well together, so hopefully we can pull something off here.
Well, when looking back at last season, name something you guys aren't strong at. I mean, you guys did dominant on road courses. You guys did great at super speedways. I mean, you guys are just good everywhere. How do you do it?
A lot of practice and just good kind of good communication between all of us. With that, we tend to we're able to kind of put together a strategy, help each other out with any weaknesses that we find in each other, and push forward from there.
Gotcha. Well, with half of this race over with, what's going to be your plan to see if you can get to the win?
If it goes green all the way, it's all going to come down to strategy. We had the right strategy there for stage 1, so hopefully we can execute it here in stage 2 as well.
Gotcha. Well, with that, before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents or my family for watching tonight. Thank my wife for letting me do this. Thank 921 Mobile DJ for being on the car, and Schrader Plumbing for being the title sponsor and also being on the car here as well.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Brandon. I do appreciate it. Congratulations on the stage win.
Thank you.
Number 39 of Brandon Fiedler took home the stage win and is currently running in 9th position. He has to keep going into the pits now because of his strategy there. Put him a little bit further down in the field. That is going to put Tyler Hallahan and Rob Carl out to the front now. You're at Daytona with the CASCAR 250. With that, I want to thank everyone that has come out here so far here tonight. I definitely do appreciate it here at the CASCAR 250. I mean, this is their biggest event of the year, minus the Final Four, the playoff race. I mean, this just means a lot for everyone that does come out here, and I know everyone certainly does appreciate it. I know I do. And, you know, this is the thing we're able to do. Because everyone turns out here, we get to put sponsors on the car, and we get to have such a great racing series.
We're not going green. Not going green.
Okay, thanks, spotter. Appreciate it. But still, it just does make a difference, and it makes everyone very happy to be here. So thank you very much, everyone that has come out so far, and thank you for being here. Make sure you follow here at twitch.tv/4o'clock and subscribe if you're really that invested here with the CASCAR iRacing League. The Shorter Plumbing Cup Series is going to be Rob Carl and Tyler Hallahan starting in your front row. Remember, next week we're not going to be racing here on Sunday. That is going to be off due to their schedule, which you can check out over at www.cascar.net. And then the week after is going to be Kansas for the 4 O'Clock Media 180. Jesse Atkinson is going to be starting a 4th here on this restart. As you can see, the rest of the field starting to come into play there. Michael Sparks going to be in 6th, also his rookie start here. First start being up in the top 10. I'm on the end of the stage. I mean, that's a great place to be in. For Cody Snyder right now running in 16th, he's going to be in one of those weird spots as he is a lap down the car. Let's go ahead and bring up your points to see where everybody is. still have the Equipment Geek guys still running through pit road, so they can serve out their penalties that they got for their fuel strategy, but also they can be on the max amount of fuel possible. That's the thing at Daytona. It's all about fuel strategy. These guys all understand that, and they want to put on a good show for everybody. As the sun is going to be continuing to set here at Daytona International Raceway in Daytona Beach, Florida, we're heading down the backstretch. Since the nice stock cars all go by. Daytona Road Course. That is one of the road courses that they do not do here on the CASCAR schedule. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Road America and Watkins Glen for these guys here this season. Those are definitely races you're going to want to tune into. Watkins Glen last season was a madhouse, as it was with Tuesday Night Trucks this season as well. Watkins Glen has been proving to be a fantastic racing spot for these or not just CASCAR, but for these iRacing leagues. So make sure you tune into those events for sure. I can't wait to see Road America as well. That's one of my favorite road courses due to its design and just everything all about it. That as the pace car leaves turn number 4, we're going to be having a good start here once again. Pace car goes off. And green flag, and away we go here at Daytona International Raceway with the CASCAR Sugar Plum Cup Series with the CASCAR 250. Rob Carl still has the lead for now. He's got Tyler Hallahan along the outside, though. He's got a great start. Jesse Atkinson getting a good push there from Blake Hensley. Very good push, actually. He's right on his bumper as they're going to be up there with Hallahan. Your top 3 on the outside row are going to be doing anything they can to remain competitive. We see Carl there on the bottom. Hallahan moves down to block him. He's got the position for now. However, we know how that likes to go here at tracks like Daytona. Hallahan leading. Carl behind, though. Atkinson leading that outside lane. Still getting pushed by Blake Hensley. I just don't think it's going to be enough for these guys right now as Patrick Pelugio begins to catch up there along the outside. Michael Sparks on the bottom. He's able to hold on to it. Does not get into accident. They were very low and running much more of a middle lane rather than outside. Don't know what Sylvan Sequin's doing as he's currently running right now in the yellow line. He slows down so he does not overtake anyone due to that yellow line rule. That was a weird place to be in. Atkinson now up to the high side of it. They did not shoot it 3 wide, though. That would have been a fantastic spot to do it. That outside row is just not fast enough. You have to be on that bottom, and when you move to the outside, it has to be just at the right time. Hallahan, though, has the lead right now as he has Rob Carl behind him and Greg Snowgrove. Snowgrove, his teammate, will be helping him in any capacity possible. And then Michael Sparks, the rookie, in 4th position right now. That's going to lap number 58 of 100 as they leave turn number 4 with the CASCAR 250. Atkinson leading the 2nd row there, getting pushed right now by the 4 of Cody Snyder, who is laps down, and then Stephen Black behind, running in 7th. Michael Jennings there in 8th. Jennings is in a pretty good spot right now if Mr. Hybrid himself can keep going, if his fuel strategy plays out just right. That's when your Equipment Geek train starts with Brian Fradian leading it up. And Jeffrey Belt behind, Wes Gallo, Brandon Fiedler, and Mundell, who's not... Mundell's Grand River Racing, but his association with teams is, yes. He's I think an honorary member of Great White North, Equipment Geek Racing, his own team, and just about everywhere else. Equipment Geek runs up high. That's a push there out of Jeffrey Belk there into the 9. That is going to be an event. I'm sure that their team is going to have a good discussion about that later on, as that was quite a push they had, and that's going to split them all up. They could have stuck to a high lane run, and it could have worked out real well for them. Blake Hensley right now is up to this first front row. Paul Ems up there as well, as he is laps down as well, running in 15th. Hensley right now having a little bit of connection issues, sticking to the outside so he doesn't get in trouble. And there it is. We saw the plane there in the background. I told you it happened. I'm breaking it one time. As Hallahan continues to lead here at Daytona in the number 88 BTT Chevrolet Camaro with Great White North Racing. All right, they all come around meow. I cannot wait to see what they're all going to be able to do here for the rest of the race. Snellgrove there in the 22 Atlantic Carrier Chevrolet Camaro, getting pushed now by Michael Sparks and Paul Hems. Sparks looks to be having a little bit of stability issues there with his Camaro. He has not been able to hold on to it too tightly so far. However, he's going to have to try real hard to make sure that he does not get into any accidents. And doing that on your first race is never a good impression, intentional or not. However, so far, he's definitely made a good impression so far, as he's currently in 4th position. Putting up a good race so far. I mean, that's good to see, though. Gotta love the rookies that come in and, actually put on a good show and make the events that much better. Richard Drake there right now in number 41 in 8th position there with his Chevrolet Camaro for Kinetic. Key spot. He's got to make sure he continues to push Atkinson, though, if they want to remain competitive. It's even that bottom lane, as fast as it is, still has its issues. As Jennings there on the outside, he's going to side draft him. Spoil that air. That becomes the big debate here on iRacing. Do you, side draft or do you not? Does it make enough of a difference to do so in the sim? It's not real life. It doesn't have the exact same properties as does real life. As Stephen Black is all over the place, comes down to block. He does not want to give that position up with the Skylords Graphics paint scheme there. That is his new company name. It's no longer Black Designs. It is now Skylord Graphics. And if you remember from last season, it was the Black Designs Cup Series. And not choose to sponsor again. So Stephen Black has now become a full-time racer. If he can make every race. Hopefully he can to do so, as we know that his performance last season put on him. Whoa! Okay, Blake Hensley there on the bottom suddenly reappeared. Hensley having more connection issues he did fine earlier. Just now it's going to be causing problems. Of course, it's when he's not leading. So, see Hallahan and Drew go by. Good to see the entire field all back together now, even for when it's training. I mean, these guys are, you can see the antsiness. They all want to get around each other. They all want to win this thing, and that's the biggest thing. Nobody here wants to come second place. They all want to win, but they're all not willing to just absolutely destroy each other. They give each other an inch, but they give each other a mile at the same time. Playing with Stephen Black here in the 98. See that gap he has between himself and Atkinson, staying below the top 5 right now. Your 2 rookies, Michael Sparks and Jackie. Okay. You can tell the stream is long, and we're not used to super long streams. Jesse Atkinson there, Sparks and Atkinson, in a pretty competitive spot running, and whoa, huge wreck off of for their caution. Still not thrown. What happened there? Okay. There it is. There's the yellow. Okay. That was a wreck and a half. We're going to have to go back and see that one. That was a visible wreck. Something just disappeared. Well, with that, let's go and see what happened, and we'll be right back. All right, I got your incident here. Let's go and take a look and see quite just what happened. I mean, that was a weird wreck, so let's go and take a look and see. Following along with Stephen Black right now and Jesse Atkinson, we go leaving turn number 4. Steve looks to the outside. Oh, net code. There it is. Atkinson sends Stephen Black into the wall. Stephen slams on the brakes, but it's not enough. Sends Brandon Fiedler into Kyle Mundell. Cody Snyder just plows into the 98 there. Mundell running down through the grass. Does not want to get any more involved in that. Net code. Man. Hook the car. Just able to make it through okay, but Steven and Brandon and Cody are absolutely destroyed after that one. And that is a tough spot to be in, figuring with how much damage that wreck did. I mean, nobody's going to be happy about that. That much is for sure. And I can't deny him either. Makes a lot of sense. Well, hopping back up to live, let's go and see what's going on now. See Tyler Hallahan is leading right now as he comes into pit road. Everybody's going to be going in now. I can feel it. All right, apologies for that. Let's go and bring up Tyler Hallahan and see how he's doing, figuring he was able to lead off of that. And it's been a while since we brought up Tyler. I mean, it's been a while since we brought up Tyler. I think the last time was, oh, man, I can't even remember. That's how long it was. It's not good. Tyler, it's an open booth. Do you read me? Well, I'm doing pretty good. You're currently leading here at the CASCAR 250 after that wreck. I mean, you're in a pretty good spot right now with your 88 BTT Chevrolet Camaro. Well, it's currently worked out in your favor as you're in a real good spot right now with a lot of good drivers behind it that are willing to push you as well, which is even better. I mean, what could be better right now? Absolutely. Now, one of the things I do have to ask is, you should really tell us about the shootout event you had.
Well, I got in a wreck, lap 4, and I ended up going a lap down before the first stage. I got my lap back, and then I ended up driving back up to the front and winning this thing. So that was pretty awesome. That was my first checkered flag in CASCAR since season 1.
I mean, that's got to be a real confidence booster, and I mean, I can tell it really shows now that you're back up into the front once again.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a big momentum builder to start the season.
For sure. Well, you've got a very competitive car, and as we said before, a lot of really good drivers around you that are willing to push you. Is there anything you want to say to our fans before I let you go?
Just gotta thank everybody for watching, and all the drivers, all my teammates, and shout out to my mom and Tara at my house.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Tyler. I do appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you.
Number 88 of Tyler Hallahan in the BTT Chevrolet Camaro for Great White North Racing. Apologize for the audio issue we had beforehand in the start of that interview. Hate it when it does that. Stephen Black going to be starting in second position. There, looks like Rob Carl is going to be put down into third. Stephen Black is a very competitive racer, as we've seen so far. You know, that's going to make this race a bit different. Not sure the position swap is doing, but all right. I think it must have been a mistake that Black is up there. Or maybe he's just being weird. I don't know. Okay. Well, looks like everyone needs to get their cars sorted right now, because we are still under green. Let's see. Like I said before, if you have anyone that you want me to bring up there out in the audience, I would appreciate it if you let me know. I'd be happy to bring them up. The person I am to get their opinion on would have to be the 42 of Michael Sparks. Let's go and see how he is doing here in his first start here with CASCAR. Michael's over the booth. Do you read me? Michael, it's open the booth. Do you read me?
I do.
There we go. All right. This is your first start here at the CASCAR iRacing League, and you've been doing pretty good so far. Currently running in 9th, but I've seen you up front a whole bunch of times. How have you been doing it, man?
You know what? I'm just trying to stay away from the damage. I'm trying to stay away from all the wrecks and just sticking in behind and pushing people when I can if I have to.
That makes a lot of sense, and currently it's been working out so far. What are your first impressions, actually?
I'm enjoying this league. It's a lot of fun. The guys are good. You know, there's not a lot of stupid driving, so it's good.
That's good. I'm glad that you know, someone from a rookie perspective can see that and, you know, appreciate that everyone is doing okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, is there anyone to thank before I let you go?
Nope, all good.
All right. Thank you very much for your time and good luck. 42 of Michael Sparks. All right. Tyler Hallahan and Rob Carl there are going to be leading off of your start here. Going to be going into lap number 69 of 100. It's going to be a nice shootout to the finish. Thankfully, this race has turned out to be a bit shorter than last time. We know that last season the stream almost took 3 hours, so it's good that it's not quite as long, but even now it's a bit weird heading into a bit of a longer stream now. Still with that, we can watch these guys leave turn number 4 as the lights are starting to come on here at Daytona International Raceway, the 31-degree banking. Gotta love it. Well, with that, the pace car does pull off. As we head in now, and green flag, and away we go. Tyler Hallahan leads the field off to a green flag start, and that is a big push and a half there out of Greg Snellgrove into Tyler. Tyler has the lead, that's for sure. As Jeffrey Belk there is on the outside, gonna have to push Rob Carl. Can he do it is the question. He does not have the pace originally built up to do so. That outside lane though does have a pretty good run here on this initial start. Carl not clear to come down though onto Hallahan. That means Tyler still has that bottom lane. He's got his, he's got his best friend there, Greg Snellgrove, right behind him. I mean, Tyler literally races in his basement. That's how close these guys are. And I think they're starting to show that closeness once again there as 22 begins to push the 88. Turns 3 and 4. 55 though of Jeffrey Belk though has to stick to that outside lane. He's got his teammates all around him as they leave turn number 4 now, heading into the tri-oval. See that speed of all the cars built up. These guys are all wound up now, ready to go. All right, should be on to lap 70 of 100. Looks like my counter is off by 1 up in the top left. Okay. Anyway, lap number 70. Let's see, Carl has the lead now. He was able to get a real good run off of that, and that has put Hallahan now into second, as Snellgrove has to push from third. Let's see, the equipment geek crew, they are all butt up together. Once again, Fratty N finally up into a good top 5 position. He has been struggling to be up there all night. He's finally up here, so hopefully he can put on a good show. Sadly, Bill Clapp could not do it as tonight. Usually being the number 48. He is not feeling too good. He just let me know. Unfortunate, but it happens. Freddy Ann still has that 4th place position. Michael Sparks weaves just a little bit there towards the back. Your Equipment Geek crew are all together right now, side by side. Oh, very competitive in terms of speed right now. Just your front runners have this race in the bag, locked down for right now. Rob Carl still has that lead, and he's not going to be giving it up anytime soon, as Tyler Hallahan is right there behind. Tyler and Greg, these two, they've known Rob as well. Like, that's the thing. Everyone here is kind of like, let's say, roughly friends with each other. At least, has raced with each other enough to respect each other and have a good race. So that makes this a lot more interesting here with the CASCAR Cup Series. As the Great Lakes East continues to lead. Hallahan behind, though, with Great White North. Same with Greg. Some kind of joke recently there with Great White North. Now Greg is now referred to as Grug. Not entirely sure why, but that's okay. See, the lights really starting to come into play now. Finally, I'm sure that they're tired of seeing that sun in turns 1 and 2. A bit more of a clear race now. Top 3 have definitely broken away. It looks like your Equipment guys are really holding up the rest of the field here. They're trying to bunch them all up and not let them through. Currently, it's working out so far. Wes Gallo giving a big push there to Jeffrey Belk, as now Belk moves down to the bottom. To the rear of that number 9 Toyota Camry. It's weird seeing that 9 back into a Camry rather than a Mustang like we saw last season. You guys really got to put this thing together if they want to catch back up. What's going to look like drive this thing from the perspective of Jeffrey Belk. about the, figuring out when to push, when to let off, when to brake. Super speedway racing is a bit more than just holding the throttle down. It is a lot of that. Just holding your throttle to the floor and hoping everyone can keep it together. There's a large part of it of just kind of like having to bide your time, knowing when to be patient and when not to be, when to force the issue, when not. And these guys are all really good at figuring it out together. Snowgrove and Callahan really like to consider themselves as the road course experts. So it's good to see these guys working together right now to put on a good show in front of Jeffrey Duncan. Well, with that, I know that there's only so much loud droning we can hear, so that's okay. So we race on here. Michael Jennings back up to the front once again, currently running in 8th, going to be looking to get some positions here along the outside. That outside line has a huge run, and who's leading it? None other than Kyle Mundell, getting a big old push there from Stephen Black and Blake Hensley behind. These two have really made a jump out to the front. Stephen Black now out to the front as well, pulling alongside Blake Hensley. He's staying there in that outside lane to help push his teammate. Jennings there also in the outside, suddenly up into 5th position. This is a weird spot to be in. It's those random runs you can get sometimes of just everyone pulling out together and going. It really makes the show interesting. Because now we have to watch side by side as they head down the backstretch here at Daytona. You can see the elevation these guys have to turn up. I mean, it does not look it from our camera perspective, but I mean, this is literally a wall of pavement. And these guys, especially in that high line, have to go up a huge amount. Up and down, up and down. Stephen Black now out to the lead. Mundell not quite able to stay in front there on that bottom lane. Like I said, the runs you can get on the outside really do make a difference. Black and Hensley now look at the gap they've created for themselves. Jennings has a lot of space to make up right now if he wants to get up in there. He has a good opportunity to. That's if Blake Hensley can keep his iRacing connection stable. Well, it's not really up to him, but goodness. This last thing is a lot of popping. I see a bit of aggressive move there out of Rob Carl. Does not want to give up too much of his time to battling for, a lot of this race where he doesn't have to. Ready for 3 and 4 they go. I want to thank everyone that's come out here once again for being here. I do appreciate it. I know everyone else here does as well. That's what puts the sponsors on the car. Allows everybody to race here. You should go ahead and check out Weeg Designs as they sponsor out the Weeg Designs Trip Series. Thank you once again to Shorter Plumbing for putting on our great Cup Series. I can't wait to get on to the rest of the season. Next up, Kansas and then Michigan. Gotta love it. The amount of races all put together. We'll put something on as we see Rob Carl into Jennings up there. That's going to break up the field a whole ton of a lot. That's not a very good expression to use, but that's okay. Because everybody is real broken up now. This is the time to make a move if you have it, as they shoot 3 wide there. Mark Lapierre a bit slow there on the bottom. He knows that he backs out. He does not want to cause too many issues. He's on the bottom. He collides into Jeffrey Belt as they go around in turn number 3. Huge wreck there. Caution comes out here at Daytona. Massive, 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 massive wreck. Wow. Netcode. I'm telling you, it makes every single crash just like that. I mean, sometimes it can really save you from some of them. Trying to think of one of the races I had recently. Someone was spinning out in front of me, and because I had netcode, I was able to literally crash through them and have no damage to my vehicle. But oh man, that sucks. Unfortunate there. A lot of these guys. Let's go and take a look and see what happened there off edit. All right, we got a good perspective here of the incident. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened here at Daytona International Raceway. All right, so we're going through 3 and 4 right there. We saw Lapierre. He comes up, and oh, then that code clicks in, takes out those 3 as they're running 3 wide. Sends Belk around Malavagna straight into the wall. those two just get into each other even worse. Tons of net code there onto Brian Fradian. Those guys are all taken out. Wes Gallo there in the number 9, able to shoot down and avoid that somehow. I mean, that is a good wreck avoidance as we see the 28 and 39 get around that as well. Wow. That is a wreck and a half. You hate to see it. I mean, you really do. But it's the kind of stuff that happens when you have super speedway racing, especially on iRacing, where the netcode comes in and makes things that much more difficult for everybody. Follow along, Stephen Black has taken the lead here. Actually, Mundell has a. Stephen Black runs in second, Blake Hensley in third. With that, let's go and bring up the number 34 there of Mundell. Kyle Snow in the booth. Do you read me?
No, bad timing, buddy. I think I'm gonna get a black flag here because that was real tight at the pit exit.
Oh no!
Oh man, I think I hit the yellow line, so we'll see how this goes. But geez, what a night this has been, Noah. How has it been for you?
I mean, it's been a race to call, that's for sure. We've had our lulls, and then we've had our insane highs like we just had there with that incident. How are you doing, though? I mean, you've been up front this last several laps, ever since the stage, really.
Yeah, it's just been nice to kind of I hit Wes at one point by accident, but EG's like in a 5-car train, man. They're moving together, so I'm sticking with them because I'm kind of caught there. Mm-hmm. And then, the end of the stage was a nightmare, man. We came down, I had less than a lap left, and we crossed the line, but I couldn't get back around. 4 of us had to enter pit lane under close. It was, what a night, buddy. Season 3 of CASCAR. Oh my God, English. Season 3 of CASCAR. Let's go.
I mean, it's been quite a start to this race. I mean, you've been doing a great job so far, though.
Trying my best, man. It's hairy. My hands are sweating. It's just heart rate's up. It's fun, man. It's fun.
I think that's why so many people are excited to come back and really, put on a good show. I mean, that's the best part about this, isn't it?
Absolutely. Good news is I did not get the black flag there unless they're going to give it to me late. But
that's good.
19 laps left, 18 to the line, I guess, it's going to be a night.
Oh, it absolutely is. Well, with that, is there anyone you have to thank for your sponsors out there or anything?
Oh, Waterloo Brewing, and then Brandon Fiedler, Schroeder's Plumbing for sponsoring the series. Pretty cool. I think Wes sponsored the truck series, and of course you for hosting, man. That's awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, Kyle. I do appreciate it, and good luck. I hope to speak to you in victory lane.
Cheers. I'll do my best.
Number 34 of Kyle Mundell in his new Chevrolet Camaro, no longer in the Toyota Camry. He's got Stephen Black, previous season champion, alongside. Good to see you, Ben. Welcome back. And, yeah, you do have to win the next race if you want to be real competitive in the next couple playoff races, which are going to be quite a while from now. But still, I mean, if you want to be competitive, you got to win these races earlier on. Hope to see you next week, 2 weeks from now, Ben, over at Kansas for the Forklook Media 180. You can watch here on twitch.tv/4cloak as we are now under the lights here at Daytona International Raceway. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The pace car now is going to be leaving turn number 4. All right. Pace car is off as we head into the tri-oval, and green flag, and away we go here with the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. Mundell off to a pretty good start. He's got a good push there from Blake Hensley. Going through the tri-oval, that bottom lane has a bit of movement going to him, but that outside lane, we know the runs they get, especially with Stephen Black heading it up the field. Same with Rational Richard Drake they're seeing there in the number 41. These guys we know are very, very fast. So keeping an eye on them. We have to see how that outside lane is going to handle it. We see the other super speedway champs of Hallahan and Snellgrove behind. And then Equipment Geek Racing bringing up the pack a little bit further on. I think Fradian saved up his fast repair exactly for that kind of moment, and he's back with a fresh car. A lot of these guys are going to be real pushing this to the end now. Lap number 82 of 100 here with the CASCAR 250. Mundell still has the lead. Can he get it across the line to get another lap light? He's getting pushed by the number 31 of Blake Hensley. There it is, another lap led for Grand River Racing. Mundell, Coluccio, and I think they have a truck driver of Matt Stewart. You can check out the results for over in the Discord. Thank you everyone that's come back to join in. I do appreciate your attendance. It's going to be quite of a race heading on forward as Blake Hensley now is going to be alongside Kyle Mundell is, oh boy, that's going to be your two Cyclone Racing guys of Blake Hensley and Stephen Black going to be pushing each other as much as they can. Richard Drake there as well, hoping to make something happen. We see the 88 of Tyler Hallahan there on the outside of Wes Gallo, leaving turn number 4, heading into the tri-oval. Number 39 of Brandon Fiedler, a little bit further back there with the Schroeder Plumbing Spider-Man Toyota Camry, as they are going to be completing these last few laps here at Daytona. I mean, this has been a race and a half already. We've seen drama lap after lap. Everyone pushing each other. They got to pick their lines. It is the go time. Imagine one more fuel stop we're going to have, and then after that, it's going to be your winner. A lot of competitive guys here. There it is, Mr. Hybrid himself, the 86, Michael Jennings there. He's up there as well. Can he get it as well? He was last season's CASCAR 250 champion, the 86 of Michael Jennings. A lot of competitive cars up here, though. Got to keep an eye on all of them. Blake Hensley and Stephen Black leading the field. Hensley moves down. Same with Stephen. They're going to be blocking that bottom lane. They do not want to let anyone through. As Richard Drake is going to head up that outside lane. Hallahan, Snellgrove, and Carl there. And same with Ems is also going to be in that outside lane. Jennings now up into 4th, falling behind Mundell. Black and Hensley still have the lead. Money is on the 34 and 00, and looks like Brett is betting on the 00 of Jesse Atkinson, and Ben on the 34 of Mundell and 00 of Jesse Atkinson. We're going to see how this plays out. Atkinson right now running back 14th. He's got a ways to go if he's going to get back up towards the front. Hensley still has this race as of now. Mundell following behind Jennings there in the 86. Still in 4th. Wes Gallo now up into 5th in the 9. He's got his little team behind him. Single file train as they race on by for the last few laps. It's been a good race so far. It's really 15 to go. I can't wait to see it to the end. See Brian Fradienne there a little bit further back in 15th. Way back after that one. These wrecks have really put a toll on some of these guys. Gallo still has that 5th place position. He's got it for now. Brandon Fiedler still in 6th. Belk in 7th. It's really these top 5s that are going to help a lot of these teams and the drivers to get the points that they need later on this season. So they have to keep a consistent run going right now if they want to get anywhere. Right now, a lot of them have it if they can get there. Make sure you check out AERL there for the Michael Jennings. That's the car he's sponsoring. It's got the inside look of one of these cars here at Daytona. They just have cars in front, cars behind. Not a clear gap for anyone to get through. Won't be too much longer now until we bring up your race winner. I'm excited. Two big distinct groups there. You can see your main group is up here, but further back. And at that train is going to be Greg Snowgrove, Paul Ems leading up your tandem team here of Ems and Drake. Atkinson leading up, Atkinson and Fradienne there. Then a bit further back, Michael Sparks by himself. Then Cody Snyder bringing up, well, technically bringing up the rest, and then everyone else is laps down. With Lapierre, Sylvan Seguin, Thomas Snellgrove, and Amal Viner. Flying over the 9 down the backstretch, you can see what it's like to be in one of these different vehicles. Once again, I mean, this is the flat part of Daytona. This is a lot different compared to the turns, which we've seen before. See the gap Wes is trying to create there between himself and the cars out front. Bit of a different strategy, but sometimes one that pays off as we're here under the lights. Think about that. We started this race in broad daylight. I believe, let's see. I think the race started at 5 o'clock. if I'm not mistaken, in terms of in-game time. Somewhere like that. It started at a time. Definitely started in the late afternoon, early evening as we are here. Now you can see that sunset sky. Oh, gotta love it. Pictures after this race are going to be great. One of the things that's not going to be great, though, is the cooling I'm going to have to do to my computer after this one. 21 cars out on track. Looks like actually 20 as Coluccio has been out for a number of them now. So that's a lot of cars on track here on a big track here on Iverson. That's a lot. As now we're going to be approaching the 10 to go mark. It's around to lap number 91. There it is, lap number 91, 10 to go. Here with the CASCAR Sugar Plumbing Cup Series here at the CASCAR 250. It's only now that you have to really watch these things. Like I said, I'm expecting probably one more fuel stop, which is going to be a end-of-the-line fuel. Actually, not due to that last caution they had. That was a while back, but who knows? Maybe they have just enough fuel to make it to the end. That's one of the difficult parts. You got to keep this thing just in check to get the right amount to the end. Bit of a wave there out of Jennings. He's got it under control now. Almost took out himself there. That double yellow. I mean, you can say what you want about the double yellow line rule, but one thing it definitely does is make it very clear where the end of the banking is. So once that banking goes down to Daytona, it's not smooth. It's like a hard rock. Hensley still has this thing in the bag right now, getting pushed by Stephen Black. I said earlier that Stephen was going to make his car as wide as possible to make sure that nobody got through, and like I said, it's happening once again. Black is not letting anyone by that. That is for sure. As we see Kyle Mundell there, seeing if he can just eye a way around. He just has nothing yet. I mean, that's the difficult part, is finding just the right time to do so. Got your long train of cars there. So all the sponsors on each of them. It's so good to see so many different sponsors on these guys. I mean, Blake Hensley's got Kellogg's up there. Vanatech for Stephen Black. Waterblue Brewing there for the number 34. ARL for the 86. Weak Designs for the number 9. It is going to be the Schroeder Plumbing Spider-Man, number 39. It's going to be myself for Cloak Media there on the 55. Number 2 is going to go to Great Lakes Esports. 88 is BTT. And then just off screen there was the 22 of Greg Snowgrove with Dependent Carrier. 3-car destroyed there out of Matt Mulvaney. Darn. I'm assuming that was a engine temperature. That sucks. And after the amount of cautions, I'm assuming that is definitely going to be another car out. 19 cars now on the field. Hate to have them go out, but it's what happens sometimes. All right, we're on lap number 94 of 100. Heading down the backstretch. Hensley really does have this thing now. Your top 3 are starting to go up a bit more. Suspension issue, you said there. That is a new one. Suspension is not usually the issue. Huh. Alright. Weird. Well, that's a new one. We're going to have to make sure we check that back a little bit later on. That's definitely a different issue. Suspension is usually not the thing that goes. Somebody racing on by there. At 39, a Brandon Fiedler here, that Schroeder Plumbing Spider-Man. Toyota Camry has been putting on a good show all night. He was able to get the stage win. He's got currently in a top 10. He can put on a good show if he continues to keep himself together, and he's got a good amount of teammates behind him. Here in these last 5 laps we're about to hit when we cross the line. Carlos dog tracking 45 degrees down there. Oh my god, 45. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that sounds like suspension issue. Yikes. Yikes. Well, I hope better luck on you for Kansas there, Matt. That is unfortunate. Jennings still has a 4th place position there with that 86. This is the 5 lap to go 1. So Express line's going to be 4. Top 10 are all up in their own group up here, completely separated from anyone else. They've got this thing going real good right now, but they have to make sure they hold it together. And hopefully their internet holds up together too, as we see a bit more of a blinking there on West Gallo. And it looks like Blake Hensley's been doing a pretty good job of keeping his internet hooked up as well. Hensley here in his first start, if I'm not mistaken, here with the CASCAR Cup Series. I've seen him race in plenty of other places, and the man is fast. He's clearly got this thing under control. He's getting pushed by his team boss there, Stephen Black, under the lights at Daytona International Raceway. Putting a good show to the end. Kansas Speedway is home track of Matt Malavani. I do hope that you have a good race there. Said that's your home track. Man, that's great. There's a big swerve we just saw there of the rear EG guys. I hope that they got their cars under control, because that is not going to be nice. Take each other out now. Top 2, Cyclone Racing. Blake Hensley, Stephen Black, and then their other team, Sylvan Seaman, coming back in 18th. Have that bottom line absolutely set to go on lap 98 of 100. This is it. This is the last few laps here with the CASCAR Sugar Plumbing Cup Series with the CASCAR 250. Brought to you here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Make sure you go ahead and follow and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in later on YouTube, and to absolutely everyone that's out here now. Live. Appreciate everyone that has come out. It's greatly appreciated, and I know that everyone out here appreciates it as well. It's always nice to have a good audience to go back onto. Well, with that, we're on 2 to go. Lap 99 of 100. Blake Hensley continues to lead at Daytona. Michael Sparks absolutely just gets out of that one. Does not want to cause any issues, especially here on your last few laps. Jennings diving down to the outside. Hopefully he can make a move, but no, he is falling back. Does not have the pace on the outside alone. Nobody went out with him. That makes it that much harder. And here it is. This is going to be the white flag here at Daytona International Raceway. Blake Hensley is going to take the white flag. Can he complete it to the end? He's got his teammate of Stephen Black right behind. Kyle Mundell in third. Mundell looking to see if he can go to the outside. He just doesn't have a run. Not yet, anyway. He's looking to the outside now. Can someone from EG help him out? Is Paul M? Nope, that's not Paul Ems. That is going to be Tyler Hallahan. Has some issues there in the back. They're 3 wide in the back. Collision between Hallahan and there. Oh, that is going to be Wes Gallows into the infield. Just absolutely turned by his teammate. Jeffrey Bell pushing onto his teammate there on the 39. What can they do now as they leave turn number 4? Black and Hensley have this thing 1-2. Mundell riding in third, and there it is. Blake Hensley wins here at Daytona to take home the CASCAR 250. And Stephen Black takes home second place, and Kyle Mundell in third. That, ladies and gentlemen, has been the CASCAR 250, brought to you here on twitch.tv/4cloak, here in the CASCAR Cup Series. Everyone right now completing up their victory laps. Oh man, what a race. So your top 5 there. Hensley, Black, Mundell, Fiedler, and Belk. Man. What a finish. Hensley coming up with his teammate though, Steven, to do some burnouts. Well earned for sure. very well earned, tearing it up amount there out of Blake Hensley for taking home his victory here in the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series. First win, the first race here at Daytona International Raceway. You gotta love it, and that has been an amazing race we've had here so far. Let's go and bring up your third place finisher of Kyle Mundell. Kyle, let's open the booth. Dear Read Me.
Hey Noah, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You got yourself a podium finish. How are you doing? I mean, like, come on, man. That is great. Here, especially in
Oh,
the
that's
first
pretty
start.
good. Yeah, I was hoping we could get something tied up to get past Steven or Blake, but every time someone tried, it was too few numbers to really make a run, I think. And then I saw something happen in my rearview mirror, and I just kept driving.
Well, that was a bit of a weird incident there that you saw in your rearview mirror. I'm not quite sure what happened either. Looks like people just suddenly disappeared off the racetrack, but I mean, you got yourself a podium finish and you did a great job doing so. You were very competitive the entire time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Here, as long as you're just in the right spots at the right time, you can stay with the group, and the group just pushes all the air through, right? So, right place, right time. Got lucky with pitting because actually EG almost could have dropped me at one point. I would have been stranded in the first half. Then there was a caution. I can't believe I missed the first wreck or the third wreck, whatever it was, before the stage break. But just right place, right time. Too bad I couldn't make anything happen at the end.
Yeah, I mean, regardless though, I mean, the amount that you were able to run up front, the amount of laps led you got, I mean, it's something to be proud of here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Look forward to do it again.
Definitely. I mean, are you excited for Kansas next week? Well, 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I've never driven it before than maybe like in NASCAR games from the past, but we'll get some practice in because that'll be a lot more of a skillful track, I will say, than Daytona, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Needing to lift.
yeah. Well, you definitely did put on a good show here tonight. Who do you have to thank for such a great performance?
Oh, and thank Brandon Shorter's Plumbing for putting on or sponsoring the series. You for putting on the race. Everybody watching, teammates. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Good night.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Kyle. I do appreciate it, and congratulations.
Thanks, Noah. Have a good night.
You too. Number 34 of Kyle Mundell. Let's go and bring up your second place finisher, Stephen Black. Steven, it's over the booth. They read me.
I got you, Noah. What's up?
Well, long time no see, isn't it, Ben?
Oh, yeah, it's been a while since the last race, huh?
Yeah, I mean, finally bringing you back up here again for another top three.
Oh, yeah, happy with that, especially here at a super speedway. Top three is always a good race.
I mean, for sure. I mean, the amount you were pushing your teammate to the win there was incredible. I don't think I've seen a car that was somehow in one lane yet be so wide.
We were trying different things. I know Blake and I work really well together, and we were pretty good up high and down low. Felt like we were the only two that could really do anything on the high side. But once we got out in front, it was just protect the low line.
Well, it definitely played out in your favor. The amount of speed you guys had in your cars here tonight. Who do you have to thank for that?
iRacing for the setup, I guess. We're all running the same thing, so it's yeah. I feel like the setup tonight was a little bit better than what I've usually driven on super speedways, but yeah, it was fun. Of course, everyone's like trying to fight for the low line. You get pinched off a couple times, and then you kind of get frustrated. I definitely did a couple times, I think, during the race, but yeah, overall it was fun.
For a first race back, would you say it was an okay 250?
Yeah, I mean, we only had uh, one, maybe two cautions, I guess, for the whole race, which I mean, with the amount of people we have, or we had tonight, that's pretty impressive.
It absolutely is. I would have to agree. Well, with that, I want to thank you for your time. Who do you have to thank for a great job here tonight?
Um, Shout out to Blake, man. His first race here, and of course I raced with him in other leagues. Uh, I'm really happy that he was able to pick up the win, and I was more than happy to push him to the win. So, and shout out to Greg and all the admins here for putting it on.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Stephen. I do appreciate it, and congratulations on the second place finish.
Thank you, Noah.
98 of Stephen Black, and let's go and bring up your race winner, the number 31, his rookie start here with Blake Hensley. Blake is open the booth. There, read me.
What's going on, man?
You just got your first race win here at the CASCAR Schroeder Plumbing Cup Series, and your first start. How did you do it?
Stephen Black. Everything I was able to do, I owe to Stephen Black.
Well, I do appreciate the honesty, but I mean, still, that was a dominant performance you put out. I mean, that was very stable racing, especially in your first start here with a very competitive guys.
Oh yeah, the Cup cars. This new package it's really hard to race, and I'm not one to really want to sit around and be patient. Like I try to be aggressive, aggressive and smart at the same time. So me and Steven, we've raced together for a pretty good while now. So he and I just kind of took to where everybody else didn't want to go, and it paid off. And we were able to keep the cars up front most of the day.
For sure. I mean, just the amount of skill that you two had behind the wheel, able to stick out front the entire time. I mean, that was a lot of good teamwork you two had. I mean, that's hard to come by.
Yeah, good pushing and good side drafting too. It's really the difference maker. And like I don't believe I'd be in the victory lane if it wasn't for that.
Absolutely. Well, who do you have to thank for a great race win?
All the guys here at CASCAR, of course, Steven and Greg and Sylvan. Steven was really the main one that talked me into running here. We've raced together for a while over in iOS and SCSRA, and he wanted me to come race for his team here. And so big thanks to all of them for getting me over here. Skylord Graphics for the awesome cars. This black Kellogg's machine looks pretty good, ripping around the track, especially with a checkered flag coming with it too.
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, what are your first impressions here for CASCAR and your first rookie start?
Good competition level. I seemed like everybody seemed to be on the same playing field, so it made for good hard racing for the entire 100 laps. Something a lot of places you go, you'll find really good guys, and then you'll find some that are below that skill level. But everybody seems to be pretty well rounded here, so it's just competition from the first car on the track till I think there was 20 or so on here tonight. So all 20 cars seem to be good and evenly competitive. Had a good shot to win.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Is there any final message, Jeff, before I let you go?
It's good to be here at CASCAR. Good to make it out my first race at race winner. Hope to keep it up.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. And that's not how you say it. Congratulations on your race win.
Thanks, now appreciate it.
All right, that was number 31, a break of Blake Hensley. I'm tired. I'm not sure if you can tell. Blake Hensley getting his first win and his first start here with CASCAR. Now, before I round out the stream, I want to bring up Greg Snellgrove, the leader of this league, and see what he has to say. Greg, it's open the booth. They read me.
Yeah.
Well, that was the CASCAR 250. How did you think it went?
It went good, besides iRacing changing my settings up for the duels and stuff.
You gotta love it.
Oh, man.
Still,
Yep.
I mean, it put on a good show for everybody. I mean, you got a quick qualifying sprint race, essentially, for you to be your qualifier, and I think everyone put on a real good show tonight.
Yeah, no, it was great. The train thing that I was worried about happened, but when people wanted to get racy, we got friggin' racy. You seen the ending there for 5th place. We were 3 wide across the line.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
like, that's a difference that you never really get to see, especially at a track like Daytona, just, everyone really being racy towards the end.
Yeah, no, I wish there was something iRacing could do to make these cars pass a little bit easier, to make it a little more fun for us.
Yeah, I understand. But still, I would say regardless, though, for a first season start at Daytona, especially here at CASCAR, that was a great way to start off the season.
You're right. Now we get a nice off week, and then it's off to Kansas. That's when the real racing starts.
For sure. Can't wait to see how that's going to go. Well, I
Me
want to thank
neither.
you for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it. Is there anyone to thank before I let you go?
Thank for everybody at Atlantic Carrier for what you guys do. Shout out to Dad for showing up tonight. Didn't finish dead last. He doesn't do this ever. This was his first time ever running Daytona, so I'm happy with what he did. And thank you, Noah, for everything you do for us.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Greg. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you later.
Have a good night.
Number 22 of Greg Snellgrove. He leads this league. Well, with that has been the CASCAR 250 at Daytona. Wow. It's been almost a 2.5 hour stream, and I know I am tired, and I think everybody else here is too. it's been a great event, and I'm really excited to see how Kansas is going to turn out with these guys. I mean, you saw the racing that they had; it was good. I want to thank. Oh, glad you enjoyed it, Michael Sparks. I do appreciate that. Thank you for commenting as well. It's good to see you here. Well, with that, I'm going to head on off. So I want to thank my sponsors over at Pierce Graphics, Frankenstein Metalworks, and CASCAR for putting on this great show for us here tonight. And with that, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks for CASCAR. CASCAR once again at Kansas. And make sure you tune in this Tuesday for the Tuesday Night Trucks. And till next time, I've been Noah Walter here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Make sure you check out my website, www.4cloak.net. And goodbye.